It's not your job to like me. It's mine.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. It's your boy JG with.
Your favorite Edwin Sarti.
Ooh, honestly, guys, I want to first start off by saying thank you to everybody that's been supporting us, that's been listening to us.
For real.
We fuck with you guys heavy.
We do. I swear, like every single time we record and every time we upload, I feel like we just get.
I honestly was nervous at first. I was like, fuck, we got to keep uploading good shit. And we've been getting nothing but good feedback. So we appreciate everyone that listens to us. If you guys haven't already, like, subscribe, share, tell your homies, tell your mama, tell your aunt.
Yeah, and for real, like, to everybody, it's like, if you haven't already subscribed, like, please hit that subscribe button, join the faithful family. I feel like this content that we've given so far really has reached out to a lot of people, and
it's done a lot of good.
Yeah, and then even
more
check
good
us
than
out.
we
Like,
thought about, yeah.
Yeah, and even check out the Instagram that we got.
ImWithTheBoys _.
Yes.
In case y'all didn't know.
There's actually testimonies on there that people
hit us up and let us know that it's working for them, that it's helped them, or, that it actually hit a nerve and kind of got them to start changing.
Yeah. So,
and quick shout out to my boy Jafet. Honestly, we're recording. We're videotaping this podcast as we speak. Shout out to my boy. We appreciate it. We're excited for this. I'm really, really excited because we're making moves, Edwin.
Yeah, I mean,
whoa. Are you ready?
I've been ready, Jesse. What about you?
Sure, my boy.
I've been telling you this.
I told you from day one, my boy.
Yeah, he really did.
I really did. In case no one knew, I told everybody that we're going to go to the top with this. And hopefully, like I said, I'm not in it for no money, no clout, no nothing. I want to keep reaching out to people because, like we said in the first episode, like I feel like men's mental health is overlooked and it's not given enough recognition.
Absolutely not. And so, I mean, like today, it's going to be an interesting topic. I'm actually super excited to talk about this because I feel like this definitely is going to hit home for a lot of men. And it's something simple, but yet so difficult.
It's complex.
So tell them, Jesse, what we talking about.
It's easier said than done. Mm-hmm. Today, we're going to talk about loving yourself, having that confidence, and knowing the difference between cocky, confident, arrogant, and just self-love.
All of it. Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like happiness, it's displayed in so many ways.
Exactly.
And I believe I spoke before on this that I give tough love. I really do. And then, maybe like yourself, you're a little bit more lenient. You're more, happier.
I got a big heart.
Yeah, you got a big heart. Big head, big heart. That's how it works.
What you talking about?
Okay.
Fuck her. Nah, but on a more serious note, honestly, want to reiterate, thank you guys for listening. Buckle up because this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So let's start them off, my boy. Where do you... Oh, I already saw it. Learn how to say no.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's something I struggle with. Let me hit it off. One of the main things I feel like a lot of people deal with, not just men, is just learning when to say no.
Yeah.
I don't know when to say no. I got a bunch of toxic ex-homies that are always... I fuck around saying that because my homies are toxic in a way, but I fuck with them, but sometimes I just can't say no, and I've gotten better at it through time, but it's still something that I struggle with because actually a couple days ago, if I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna give a little backstory, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I knew I was tired and I wanted to go to sleep, and I didn't because I was like, nah, I'm gonna kick it with the homies. And it kind of it fucked me up the next day at work because I was like, sleepy as fuck, sluggish. Coffee ain't doing shit. Yeah. And I just, obviously, I'm not performing at my best. And you could tell when I'm sleepy, I get bags under my eyes real quick. And, it's obvious,
And I see personally, I feel like, saying no really causes so many things because, it's hard to say no sometimes to your friends. Sometimes it's hard to say no to even to your own family because it's like, oh, they have my back. I kind of have to say yes.
Just because they're family.
Yeah, because they're family or they're my homie. I've known them for X amount of years. And you, in a sense, you feel obligated.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, as being a guy, it's like...
You're going to look like a bitch.
Exactly. And that's the thing. A lot of guys feel that way. I was like, oh, if I say no, I'm going to look like a girl, like a pussy, like a bitch.
Pussy. And I think that's one bad thing that we need to cut out from everybody. For being... okay with saying no, she needs to be normalized.
Absolutely.
We need to discuss that more because it's just a big toxic trait to have when you can't say no.
Yeah, because think about it. I mean, saying no, ultimately it means that you have a lot of respect for yourself.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you can't do the objective that your friends want you to do.
Yeah.
It just means that you have prioritized several things.
Have you ever been in a position when you wanted to say no but you didn't?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of the times is when I drink.
That was my fucking example. But go ahead.
Because no, it's really because I used to drink a lot, and I mean I still do now and then, and it really depends. Like now, it really depends on my mood. It's like I'm getting at that age, bro. I'm turning 30. Like, I'm turning 27 this month. In 3 years, it's basically 30. I'm basically 30, bro.
Oh, you 30. You look 30.
A dirty 30. But overall, I just feel like now I'm at that age where I can control myself. But there has been several times where even like youngsters, like my girlfriend, she's 4 years younger than me. So when she brings her friends over, I feel like, oh damn, I gotta like match up to them. I gotta have their energy. Therefore, sometimes I just give in, and I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'll just
and that's just, and I don't feel like that's just relationships. That goes for everything, family, homies, anywhere you are, work too. Like if you know you want to say no, you want to pick up that extra shift, you don't want to do that extra work, you don't want to do all that bullshit, and sometimes you just still don't say no. Like, and I feel like you need to build that self-respect. Yeah. And by building that self-respect, saying no is where it starts.
Yeah, and then honestly, I like you said, there's definitely benefits to that because you eventually stop becoming a follower.
Yeah, and
so that's a big perk. I understand it might convenience the other party, or it might, it might make them judge you, or they might feel different about you. But overall, yeah, it's true. But overall, it's like you're gonna have that self-respect, and on top of that, you're gonna have more confidence later in the future. Like, no, I have things to do. This is not necessary.
And it's not an easy thing to do, to be honest. Like I said, I still struggle with it till this day. Yeah. It's hard for me to say no, but I've been realizing that if it doesn't benefit me, it's only gonna damage me. Yeah. And I don't want none of that bullshit. Like, I need to start doing what's best for me, not for everyone else, and that includes family.
So, I mean, have you been placed in a position where you felt like you were quote unquote obligated to say yes?
Oh, for all the time. Like I mentioned earlier, I have some toxic ass homies. Yeah. Them motherfuckers is alcoholics. But obviously I don't feel I'm not obligated. They don't force me, none of that shit. But I just love kicking it with the homies. I'm on the road with you, and that is a bad thing because I don't know when the fuck to stop. Like sometimes I'm just like I'm fucking bad, but I ain't no bitch. Yeah. So that's what makes it tough. But
because I mean, as guys, we're a macho. We're supposed to like live up to that expectations. No, we got to be down.
You don't want to be the bitch of the group. No, let's just put it that way.
And that's hard. Like I
mean, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yes,
we guess we could say that. Yeah. Yes. So
I mean, but I think it's like eventually there has to be a time where you feel like I feel like people have to learn how to face that dead on. Like you can't just let that hold you back, and because it really does take a toll on your mental health.
Yeah, it does.
We talked about it already.
Yeah, it's crazy because it all starts with saying no. I feel like that's when you start really respecting yourself. That self-respect comes into play. Yeah. And that saying no is what kind of just gets you into the path that you start facing shit head on. You're not afraid to say no. You're not afraid to do shit no more. Yeah. And that includes facing your stress, facing everything. Like,
yeah. And honestly, that's one thing that I need everybody to understand is that when it comes to facing your stress, or just facing the idea of saying no or anything like that, it doesn't mean that you have to do it overnight.
Standing up for yourself, I guess that's the way we could play.
Yeah, just to stand up for yourself. It's not something that I feel everybody should do overnight or right there and then.
Oh, hell no.
Really, like, start small. I feel like everybody should progress and just do everything small. Because I feel like that's a problem that we have. It's just that we just have to please everybody. Like,
slow and steady wins a race.
Exactly.
Remember that.
Yeah, so it's like, and I feel like me personally, I feel like I have to, before I had to like please everybody to make them like me, to make me feel like a man. It's just, and I felt happy at the moment, but overall I didn't see myself being satisfied with myself, and I wasn't loving myself because I was
exactly why we're talking about this, Edwin, because we're realizing that shit, and you're speaking real ass facts. I appreciate that shit because I think as guys, with everything in life, we try to please everyone but ourselves.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes it's easier to do that sometimes. Yeah, because like it's like, oh, I have to work on myself. I got to think about what I'm doing wrong, and like I feel like it's too much stress on ourselves. So we take the easy way out, and just try to please others. Because I feel like it's easier to say yes.
And I get exactly what you mean, because most of my life I've tried to live up to everyone else's expectations but my own. I lived up to having to fit a role that I didn't want to fit in, and it kind of fucked me up because I didn't want that. I didn't want that for my life. I didn't want to be responsible for shit I didn't want to be responsible for, or for shit that wasn't my responsibility. Yeah. And that was a hard pill to swallow even for myself, because, you know, I wasn't going to let whatever I needed to, you know, support fail. I didn't want to do that. That's not me, you know? But I learned now that I had to start sticking up for myself and start doing what I wanted to do before anything else, because at the end of the day, like you mentioned earlier, when you're done pleasing everyone else, you kind of feel worthless because you're not pleasing yourself.
So explain, because like, I mean, like for me, my example was that I started slow. You know, I started saying like so, you know, no on small things like, oh, do you want a beer? Like, no, I'm good. You know, I did small things like, hey, do you want to come with me to the store? Like, no, I'm good. Like, start off something small. Like, how did you start off? Do you know, is there any way that you felt like you progressed to that? Because I know people, I know people don't do this overnight. This is not something that people say, all right, I'm going to start saying no from now on.
Yeah, like, and that's something a lot of guys especially have to fucking recognize, because a lot of guys are quick to like be like, nah, I could change cold turkey. Nah, dog. No. It's going to be a constant battle for everyone, not just men. Daily. Yeah. I mean, it depends. Some people have it daily. Some, like to me, I usually have it on the weekends when I go drink with the homies, you know? But I started realizing it when a lot of people tell me that I was extra as fuck. And I started realizing that I was the problem, you know? I was the one doing fucking stupid shit and telling, hey, fool, let's go, you know? Yeah. And I started realizing, I was like, once I stopped, like, no one was really down for anything, you know? None of my homies can say, like, most of my homies don't know how to say no either, you know? So it kind of was like a constant battle going back and forth between who was the one trying to say no and who wasn't. But I realized that I was the one causing most of that fucking bullshit, you know?
Do you feel like you made the problem worse when you were saying yes to everything?
Yeah, because I was the one that would always be like, hey, fool, let's go. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do some crazy shit right now, you know?
Like, you down?
Yeah, I'm fool. Down. One of the craziest shit I've done. I'm not proud of it. I was drunk probably like 2:30 in the morning. And me and the homies were fucked up. Okay. And we're like, hey, let's go to Vegas.
Oh, shit.
We got to Vegas at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Went, I lost $1,000. Got back by like 11:30, 12.
A suicide is what they call it?
Yeah.
A suicide trip?
Yep.
I've done that before.
If it wasn't,
I didn't lose that money, but
if it wasn't for my Lexus, I probably would be dead right now. Really? Because my Lexus had that steering assist when I would be like swerving, or it would go over a lane without the little switch or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll start vibrating, like the steering wheel will vibrate. So that's what kind of like, oh shit, you know,
like wake up.
Exactly, stops swerving type of shit, you know. But and I started realizing that I was kind of the problem,
right?
And that wasn't easy, because I didn't think I was the problem, you know. I was like, fool, these fools are down. How am I the problem, you know? But I was the one insinuating it, and I had to stop insinuating everything. And then it kind of rubbed off on my homies, and I realized how bad it had rubbed off, and that's what kind of made me like, nah, fool, chill.
So you felt like you kind of joined the pack, and then eventually the pack enhanced and just.
I joined the pack. I led the pack, and then I realized, oh shit, this ain't good. And then I started realizing, hey, we gotta chill. We can't be doing that shit. We gotta learn how to say no. We gotta learn how to be crazy in like a good manner, you know.
Was that something that you said, okay, guys, it's time for us to calm down and let's behave, or like,
actually, yeah,
like let's get rowdy on certain times, like let's be rowdy at the same time.
I was actually telling the homie, I was like, hey, fool, we need to stop doing stupid shit. I kid you not. On some no cap shit. I was we're literally drinking. I was like, fool, what the fuck? And we're looking at other people drink. We're like, hey, fool. Remember when that used to be us? And we're like, hey, fool, it's time. Like, we got to hang them up, you know? Yeah. And now we're starting to realize it's okay to say no, you know? And it's all about those small little steps of change that create that progress are what matters the most.
You know, speaking of progress, it's like people think that, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the biggest mistake when it comes to mental health is that a lot of people expect overnight change.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that to go up a ladder, you literally have to go, or to go up to a roof. Yeah, to go up to a roof, you need a ladder, and you don't just jump from one step to the other. You or all the way to the top. You literally got to go one step at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem that a lot of people don't understand, is that yes, progress is needed, but it doesn't need to be a dramatic change. Yep. It has to be something slow. And even progress is progress.
Any little progress is progress, bro.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this in the previous episode. Like,
probably.
Yeah, like mentioning that, you know, any little change. Like you said, you went from like, I think if I remember correctly, sometimes you're like talking shit for like something along those lines, that you went from like 5 times a week to like once a day or once a week or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like that's progress. A lot of people won't see it that way. A lot of
Yeah.
people, especially from an outside perspective, but from the inside looking out, you start realizing like, hey, dog, I'm changing.
Yeah, and that's the
You
thing.
know?
And that's the thing that people don't get is that progress is progress regardless of how. And then honestly, reward you guys, like reward yourself. If
Yeah,
you're
in
if
a
it's
in a
something
positive
small.
manner though. Be sure to put that out there because a lot of guys like, hey,
Yes.
fool, I'm gonna go get fucked up. I'm changing. Nah, fool. Don't drink poison just because you thirsty, my boy.
And I think this is where we can even expand a little bit further and talk about families. And
Ooh.
because think about it, sometimes like for me, one big thing that I had was I had a big issue when it came to drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents would say, we need you to stop drinking. Like, just stop. Like, literally, the word stop really means cold turkey. Like, if you're in the
Yeah.
street and there's a stop sign,
They expect you to
stop.
put that fucking beer down.
The
huh?
beer down, that's it. Don't touch it anymore.
And that shit was good, huh? You couldn't put it
No, I
down. Huh?
didn't. No, I didn't.
What kind you
Um,
drink? Tell the folks. Tell them.
Modelo. Yeah. But anyways,
Okay.
but like what I'm trying to mention is that the steps that I would tell my parents is like, look, I haven't drinking like for 4 days.
They
Like
won't see it like that.
But they
though.
won't see it
Yeah,
that
I
way.
know
They'll
what you
see it
mean.
as
I
like,
know what
no,
you
you're
mean.
dumb. You're still continuing
You're
to
still
drink.
doing it. Yep.
And this is where a lot of people have a lot of problems and eventually give up because they feel like, okay, I haven't pleased that person. And it goes back to what we just
That's
said,
what I'm saying. Like
pleasing other people.
And it's like, whose expectations are you doing it? Are you doing it for them or are you doing it for
Boom.
yourself? Exactly.
And that's hard
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's like, whose expectations are you living up to, yours or mine? Because now that I'm older, a little bit more wiser, I feel like whatever I do for myself is for myself, and that's it. If somebody says otherwise, that's their problem, not
Yeah.
mine. And this is why, like in the beginning of the intro, I straight up said, like, it's not your job to like me, it's mine.
Exactly.
So when it
and
comes,
the worst part, I feel like, sorry to interrupt, I feel like you're like, you love your family. You
Yeah.
want to make them happy.
Yeah.
But they don't see your change. They don't see your progress, and that's what makes it hard. Like I said,
and
it all
that's
starts with
self-love.
yourself.
And
That's
it's
that
really
self-love,
it's really
self-reflection.
and it's really self-love. Like
Yeah.
that's the problem. It's like it's self-love. I understand people want you to change, but they can throw money at you. They can throw whatever they want at you. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's how you
Exactly.
end up.
They can try to convince you. They can try to change your mind and try to make you change. But if you don't want to,
Yeah,
you ain't going
they
to.
can only do so much. You can parents, families, girlfriends. They can only go so far. They can only convince so much. There really is a cap. There really is a limit.
There's a limit. Something. I want to say this. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I'm talking from personal experience. I literally said this one time, and I think that's probably the smartest shit I've ever said in my life.
You don't say a lot of things too.
I don't say a lot of smart things, fool. But let's be real.
Yeah.
I literally said this. I was like, there's no timeline for change because it's change, but there is a timeline for patience. And you have to differentiate between the both because patience runs short. It's a short fuse.
Yes.
But change, like we're talking about right now, it can't happen overnight.
No.
It can. Not gonna say I'm more than sure there's people that can, but realistically speaking,
self-help is really, it's a marathon. It's at your pace.
Self-love is always a marathon, not a sprint. But what I want to clarify because I know there's people out there listening, maybe females,
Yeah.
Self-love,
47% of them.
It's like you got to differentiate between self-confidence and cockiness. Because I know a lot of dudes that are confident, and then I also know a lot of dudes that are fucking cocky. Like, full chill, like humble yourself, G. Like, it's a big difference
for me. That was a hard one for me because I'm not gonna lie.
You're a cocky motherfucker, bro.
On the weekends.
Nah. I'm gonna be fair. But when we first started hanging out, you're a cocky motherfucker. You had a nice ass car. You had 3 jobs. You had reason to be cocky. I'll say that.
Yeah, because
I give credit what it's due.
Because I feel like I can throw money around. I can flash my card, and it's like, what do you got up on me? Nothing. And I was, oh shit.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Did you really have self-love back then?
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
Because
my point.
why? I was trying to impress I was trying to impress that girl that was talking to that one dude that was a bum. I was trying to impress my boys, bringing the most expensive bottle to the club, like stupid little random shit. But at the end of the day, it's like, fuck, I just wasted $2,000 for nothing.
But exactly and it ties back to what the fuck we're talking about. You were doing it because you want to impress others, not for yourself. Because
Yeah.
realistically, I mean, you come from not much from what I know,
Realistic.
and you have a lot now, but I feel like now that you have more than you had before,
Mm-hmm.
you're less cocky, bro. And I salute you, because
Appreciate
a
it.
lot of people, like, they can't differentiate.
Yeah.
And it took something that kind of changed your life to do that.
Right.
And what I want to establish for this episode is, don't let something happen. Don't learn the hard way. Like, learn right now the difference between
Yes.
your own expectations, someone else's expectations. Because like you just said, like, what does that bum have against you?
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are you even comparing yourself?
So
What does that fool have? Where does that fool even come into your life that you feel you have to compare yourself?
Right. So now it kind of begs the question, like, what do you think is the difference between cockiness and like self-confidence? Like, what do you think
Ooh.
is the biggest difference that kind of separates
Go ahead.
the boys from the men? What do you think is
Validation seeking, my boy.
validation?
Validation. A
Explain.
lot of dudes
Explain.
struggle with that.
Explain.
Like, a lot, like you just said it.
No, but like what, like needing validation or like not receiving validation?
I think that kind of like,
Because at the end of the
I think confidence is not needing validation.
Okay,
within
that's
yourself.
what I meant. Okay.
Like, if you're confident, you don't need no one to fucking, you're
Like
the
integrity.
shit. Yeah, like,
Comes
you know
down
you're
to
the shit.
integrity.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you you're the shit because you already know.
Yeah.
But cocky fools are always gonna be like, oh, I am the shit. Blah 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 blah. Like, I used to be like that. I used to be an arrogant motherfucker thinking I was a shit.
Yeah.
And life humbled me real quick. But
I think that we can easily talk about this because of sports.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
oh,
well,
no,
I,
of
you know,
course.
I scored that goal. You know,
yeah,
I did well. Like, what'd you do? Nothing. No,
Nah,
see, I made it.
that-
I made us win.
and what's funny is that soccer is one of those things that I'm not a cocky dude.
Really?
Like, I'm really confident in just my ability.
I'm not gonna lie. I talk shit. I'm not gonna lie.
You talk shit for everything though.
True, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and sports is kind of almost given. You
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
have to low key.
I mean, it's competition. It's competitive. You have to.
competition.
But realistically, like, going back, like, I think validation and attention seeking is what differentiates both cockiness and self confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of guys, like, I used to struggle with wanting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. Like, I would do the most. Like, I think that's what really made me an extra as a dude.
I was about to say, is this
Like,
why you're extra?
that's why I'm so extra, and I'm working on it, bro, because it was something that wasn't easy. Like, I'm still working on it till this day.
Mhm.
But now that I have a lot more self confidence, I'm not as extra as I used to be. I'm gonna be honest with you,
Yeah.
and it's because I don't need no validation. Like, I started realizing who the fuck I was. I started realizing what the fuck I got, and I was realizing that I did it. No one else did it, so
So you kind
I
of
need to make myself proud.
So you kind of let your work speak for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Speak for itself.
Exactly. I stopped talking and I let my actions,
Do the
my
talking.
persona, and everything else do the talking for me.
Yeah.
Because essentially that's what differentiates. I know I'm confident. I know I could brag about who I am and what the fuck I got.
Right.
But I let that shit do it for itself. I don't need to. I don't need no validation for nobody to know I'm the shit.
Right. And you know what? It's crazy because when you talk about like being cocky and having self-confidence, like obviously those are two big different, like there's two different things. And I feel like obviously being confident and being cockiness has a lot to do with the audience. So like with the audience around you, like do you need an audience? Like yes or no? And
that's
if
a
you
big one.
do, and then if you do need an audience, that's cockiness. If you don't need an audience, that is self-confidence.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a lot of people
Learning
are
the
just
difference.
they're afraid to lose audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big mistake for a lot of men out there. Is that I understand maybe you are a top dog, but why do you need that attention?
Yeah.
Like why do you need people around you? That's how you know you love yourself less because you're too busy trying to get people to love you.
And that literally ties back to whose expectations are you living up to?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're trying to live up to that audience's expectations, you're never gonna be happy, dog. Like, that's in everything in life. Like, I'm pretty sure you heard this growing up. People are gonna talk no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
So it's essentially it's like, do you for you.
Yeah, because I mean, I believe in like loving a bunch of people.
Yeah, no, of course.
Like I believe in that. Like love all, but trust a few.
Ooh, hey, that's facts.
Because it's like that's really the type of people you need. You know, I've always told my significant other. I've told my friends. It's like my circle is small. It's so small. It's almost a period.
I've heard it, but that just caught me off guard. That's
But yeah.
fucking funny. Yeah. Nah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's where people need to understand. That's where kind of everything needs to go. It's like don't worry. Like, don't be afraid to be alone. Like, don't
Yeah, and
being,
that's
like being
essentially
alone.
that was why I was the way I was.
Yeah,
I was never alone. I know a lot of people.
and you benefit from being alone.
Yeah, and like I said, I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends. Like my circles, it's been tight. It's been the same people for the most part.
Yeah,
But I know a lot of people, and I always like if my homies didn't want to hang out, I'd have people to hang out with.
right.
And I realized like, oh, why the fuck can I stay by myself?
Gotcha. And then
And I was trying to please everybody. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I'm not even happy. I go home and I feel alone. Like, why? Like, that ain't cool.
Because I mean, you could even tie this to like relationships, bro. If you
Yeah.
think about it, it's like some people need to be with other people. Like they need to be with a loved one. You know,
Yeah.
for lack of better
Like,
words.
and that goes kind of. I know what you mean because I know a lot of people that go from like boyfriend to boyfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend. Like,
yeah, but nothing changes.
and nothing changes. Like
No.
they go through the same cycle, same shit, and on to the next one. It's like that ain't healthy.
No,
That ain't healthy for your own well-being. That ain't healthy for the person that you were with or whatever it may be because you obviously haven't fixed. Like if you're doing that constantly, you haven't fixed what was wrong with you in the first place to be happy in your next relationship.
Yeah, and I think like even in relationships as men, you know, we feel like we're the alpha dog. You know, we feel like we're the ones in charge of, or we feel like we should be in charge of the relationship.
There's a lot of expectations for us, G.
A lot of expectations
in
for
every
us.
manner.
And obviously now it's 2020, things are changing.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of women don't even help us in the situation.
Nah, they don't. And there's like, I feel like it in a way it's kind of a little toxic because they expect a lot from us.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a relationship, it's like you shouldn't expect. That should already be given if it comes naturally.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
naturally, and that's key right there. It has to come naturally. You can't just force your significant other. Hey, I need you to do this for me in this relationship. No, that's just
Because unconsciously, like shit
No.
like that makes them unconscious. Like, oh fuck, I'm not a good boyfriend.
yeah.
Or I'm not a good guy.
You kind of start doubting
Yeah,
yourself.
you start doing all that shit.
You become insecure.
Exactly. You literally, it makes you overthink every little aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh fuck, like, damn, I thought I was a good boyfriend, but I didn't do this. Like, oh damn, I ain't shit.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and that becomes a bad issue. And I think even then, it's just starting being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
And like I've mentioned in previous episodes, is like you got to start within yourself before you do anything else. If you don't love yourself, you're not gonna love someone else.
No.
You're constantly gonna. Actually, let me look for a picture.
Okay.
Let me look for something because I saw this and I really wanted to talk about it because I was like, damn, like it's facts, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I believe with what you're saying because I remember even talking about this in one of our episodes that you know being in a relationship, you can't just you know expect your other person to change or you can't have your significant other tell you what to do and just say okay if I change for them then therefore I'm gonna be a happy person, I'm gonna be a better person. When I've said this before, a relationship is never 50-50. It's always gonna be 100-100. You're gonna come in with a mindset ready to go and they are gonna come with a mindset ready to go. So you both just bring in everything and you guys are healthy. You can't
I can't find it. For my bad.
but like I was saying, it's like 50-50 doesn't mean you become 100. It doesn't.
You got to be 100 and they got to be 100.
Yes.
Because
people find that person to quote unquote complete them. It's like, how does that make sense?
nah.
Like you need somebody else to make you happy and therefore you're good to go. It doesn't work that way. Make yourself happy.
Other people's love for you is temporary.
Oh yeah.
Always. But if you love yourself, that's permanent.
Oh yeah. Oh that facts.
It's all going to start with
Facts.
that. It's all going to start with that self-love and that self-respect. And if you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody going to respect you.
It's just hard to really like just have that idea in your head that like really loving yourself really brings so many benefits. It's self-respect, you know, it's you have a lot of integrity, you know, you're loyal to yourself because you don't have to be loyal to somebody. It's just at the end of the day, is if you're loyal to yourself and then if you value yourself, being loyal just comes naturally in a relationship.
Yeah, no, and exactly that's the best way you could put it, bro. But it's hard for people to love ourselves. Like it was hard for me to love myself, to be honest with you. It's a constant challenge for me. Just because I would always be trying to seek validation from everyone and I realizing I only need validation from myself. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But why do you think it's so hard for us though? Why do you think it's hard for especially men? You think it's the expectations?
That definitely has to do that definitely has to be a part of it. Why it's hard for us, it's there's just so many things that come into play. I just feel like us as men, again, we have expectations for men, and
For everything. Yep.
for everything. It's like we got to be the one that can't feel pain. We
Yeah.
can't
We got to be the
cry.
strong ones.
We got to be the strong one. We have to balance out the house. We have to balance
Yeah.
out the
We
relationship.
have to take care of everything.
We have to be the guy that knows how to build a home, that knows how to change your oil. Like,
Yeah.
just, and I'm not saying that stuff is not manageable and it's not doable, and
It's
those
just
are
a
things.
lot of expectations
just
added
a-
onto one plate.
Yeah, and I just feel like that we're so embedded from a young child that we need to be at our top game, that we just feel like we need to please everybody.
Yeah.
And then and if we feel like we're not fulfilling that, then that's why we feel like shit. So
And
then
it literally ties back to what me and Jafet actually were talking about earlier.
yeah,
He literally was like, why are guys so obsessed with just climbing to the top?
yeah.
Like, why does it have to be that way?
Yeah,
Like, what are you still climbing for? If you keep climbing, you're eventually gonna fall.
yeah,
You gotta find that self-love and find out, hey, I don't need to climb. Like, I'm good here. Or actually, let me climb a little bit more
yeah.
and I'll be good. Or whatever it may be, you know?
I remember that back in high school, I took a college course,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in my high school year. It was I was a senior, and after school I had a college class,
Yeah.
and I remember that a teacher, shout out to Miss Adela,
Shout out.
she
Who?
just Miss Adela,
There you go.
she just retired from Fulton College.
Oh, shit.
I think after teaching for like almost 50 years.
Hey, salute to her.
And then I remember that she said one thing. She goes, I knew that I've always wanted to be a teacher, like since I was like a baby, a little kid.
I mean, she
and
did it
then-
for 50 years, yeah.
And yeah. And then she goes, I always knew that. And then I remember that she went in, got the job, and then they told her pay rate. And they told her, oh, you know what? Like, we don't make much in this district, but this is what we're offering. Then later on, you can go ahead and get some experience.
Raises, all that shit.
Yeah, get raises, or even just build your resume and then just go to a different district.
Yeah.
She said, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine with the pay. I'm here because I love working with the kids." And she said, "Honestly, I would do it for free
Oh, shit. Yeah.
because she
loved
did
it.
it. She did it because she loved herself that much that she wasn't greedy. And I think that's one important thing when it comes to loving yourself, is that you should be satisfied.
Yeah, and that's a great thing that you bring up your teacher, because I feel like men are always in competition with one another. Like, it's like, oh, what do you do for work? If someone were to tell you, what do you do for work? What would you say? Be real with me.
I would say a bartender.
Yeah, and you think you literally would say that with your chest and be confident. Oh, I'm a bartender.
I mean,
you said
I'm
it like
not.
a bitch, fool. Say it with your chest, fool. You make good money. You know that shit.
Well,
Say, hey, you're a bartender.
Well, I mean, I'm older now, so I stay humble. I'm saying I'm a bartender.
Yeah, but you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I made you kind of feel like, oh, shit, I'm only a bartender, right? I mean, in a little way,
Yeah,
right?
okay, I see what you mean.
Like, why does it have to be like that? That's my point. It's like,
Mm.
dog, like, why the fuck are we in competition
why do
with
you
one another?
care?
Yeah,
Like, why do you care
what
about
is it
my
to you?
job?
Oh, yeah, are you going to pay my bills?
I was about to say that. I
Yes,
was
you
like,
are.
why you paying my- I mean, no, I'm not.
Oh, shit. Why I keep hitting this?
Oh,
Nah,
no.
but that's essentially, like, I'm glad you pointed that out, because it's a great point. And it's always, like, about how much money you make. That
Yeah.
that doesn't make you a man, my G.
No.
Hell no, fool. I mean, money ain't shit.
So if you had to, like, overall say, like, what do you think is self-love? Like, if you had a definition for self-love and like a general term for
Hippies.
men, you would say hippies.
Fuck, for what? You ever seen a hippie mad?
I mean, he didn't get his weed. He was probably mad about that.
For I mean, realistically speaking, for
no.
right? You get what I'm trying to say? They're happy with the fuck. They ain't in no competition with nobody.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like that's why they're kind of like classified and pushed this out. Oh, those are hippies. It's like, fool, like hippies.
Yeah.
I've never seen an upset hippie.
Yeah, because I think that, like, to say that you're happy with yourself and that you have self-love, I feel you should be content and satisfied with just the basic needs of life.
Yeah, like
Because once you feel like, okay, let's say, yeah, I make $100K a year.
yeah,
Let's say I make $100K a year. Okay, I want to buy a brand new car.
yeah,
Okay, let me see. I start off with a Lexus. Oh, but you know what? That car's getting old. You know what? I'm gonna upgrade to a BMW.
yeah. It's like,
Oh wait, you know what? After this, let me get the M5. You know what? After that, let me get the Lambo.
Let
You're
me-
just
let me
never
walk, yeah.
satisfied.
and the worst part is that, like, what makes you feel that way? Is it you, or is it you just wanna show off your car?
Exactly, and this is
Yeah.
why it's toxic. Like, if I feel like your basic needs are met, I think, and if you're happy with it, if you're just happy getting, because again, everybody doesn't need a lobster every day. Nobody,
Nah, yeah.
everybody doesn't need
You just
a
need
shrimp
food,
plate every day. You just need food. So if
your
you're content
vitamins, your
with that,
supplements.
yeah. If you're content with the food you have, if you're content with the love that you have, just the simple necessities, not the extra shit. If you're happy with that, you're at your happiness.
Yeah,
The minute that you are saying, I need to have this gourmet meal. I need this bougie car. The
that's
minute
already.
you're done. You're not happy anymore.
You're not. You're not. I mean, no. I'm gonna cut you off because sometimes I like eating good shit,
Well,
and that don't mean I'm not happy. But I know what you're trying to say. Like
see,
you're not trying to like if it'd be different if you're going by yourself. Like I'm gonna go get a lobster for myself.
Right.
You're comfortable with yourself to go eat by yourself and go get something you like. Like
well,
that ain't too bad either.
I'm not saying that it should never be allowed. I'm just saying that now at our
Kind of
age,
self-reflecting.
at our age, we can now say, you know what? I've been doing good so far. Let me go ahead and spoil myself once in a while.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. But the minute that you're like, bro, I need to have this fancy meal every day, then that's when it's an issue.
Yeah.
Because again, there's nothing wrong with every now and then doing something fancy. This is why in my relationship, I take my girl out on a date once a week, not every day.
You never take me out. Nah, I remember you told me that. Yeah,
So it's like, because I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want her to get conditioned to the point where like, oh, you're not taking me out. Okay, you don't love me.
yeah.
Because I want her to understand that I'm content with just eating out once a week. If she's not content, then she can go somewhere else with somebody else.
You're content with just
The
basic
minimum.
food. Yeah.
And then if it's now and then, every now and then, I want to spoil myself with food. Fuck it, let's do it.
I know what you mean because
So balance it out. That's a balance. It has to be a balance.
Then, one thing I did want to point out too is because like I live on my own. A lot of people are asking me for advice and everything. One thing I would say is stay home.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Appreciate the resources you have. Ain't nobody. I mean, if your parents are telling you to move out, that's a whole different story.
I paid $2,000 in rent. I'm staying home. Like I'm using the whole $2,000.
And one thing I do say is like if I would have had a roommate, it'd be a lot better. But now that I live by myself, I can't have a roommate. G. Like it's hard. But what I tell people that ask me for advice, like dog, really think about it. If you don't need to do it, I think that's the best way you could put it. Need versus want.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I mean, and it's expectations again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, a guy's supposed to have his own spot. A guy's supposed to like move out. A guy's supposed to get a spot for us. Like, nah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? For who? I'm cool. I'm cool chilling with my family. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? Whose expectations am I gonna live up to at that point? Am I gonna live up to her, my partner, or am I gonna live up to my own?
And I think that's one thing that people need to start admitting is that maybe I am like trying to be too extra. Maybe I am trying to be too greedy or whatever. Because once you start knowing that, it's like your flaws really become your best friend.
Yeah. Once you embrace them.
And it's funny because I remember we've all seen this movie, 8 Mile.
Yeah.
8 Mile with Eminem.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A little classic.
Yes. So in the movie, it's the final rap battle. And then it's Jimmy, I believe.
Rap for us?
Kind of. Maybe. So it's Jimmy and Papa Doc. They're at the end and they're basically they're pretty much doing the rap battle.
Yeah.
And this is where I need people to understand. And this is I'm surprised I thought about this, but it really made sense about self-love. Now you're probably thinking the last rap battle, like how does that create or sound like self-love? Let me explain. So he eventually Jimmy starts talking about his flaws. He kind of admits it to a point where Papa Doc cannot talk shit.
Yeah, and
he can't talk shit.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah,
because I mean, like I actually wrote down the lyrics, and I'm just gonna read it just so you guys have an idea.
For who hasn't seen 8 Mile?
You'd be surprised, bro.
That's true. Go ahead. Spit it for us.
So I'm not going to say it like that, but I'm just going to read it definitely. So again, Eminem, or I should say Jimmy, he in the rap battle. I don't know why I can't speak. The rap battle. He says, "This guy ain't no motherfucker MC. I know everything he's got to say against me. I am white. I am a fucking bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom. My boy Future is an Uncle Tom. I do got a dumb friend named Cheddar Bob who shoots himself in the leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you chumps, and Wink did fuck my girl. I'm still standing here screaming, fuck the free world. Don't ever, don't ever try to judge me, dude. You don't you don't know what the fuck I've been through. So then they go back. So then he keeps going on, and then towards the end of that rap, he says, "Fuck the beat. I go a cappella. Fuck a Papa Doc. Fuck a clock. Fuck a trailer. Fuck everybody. Fuck y'all. If you doubt me, I'm a piece of fucking white trash. I say it proudly. And fuck this battle. I don't want to win. I'm outie. Here, tell these people something they don't know about me." And he drops the mic.
Yeah,
Because at that point,
iconic.
at that point, Papa Doc has nothing to say about him.
Well, you can't.
So
he dissed his own
he
self.
dissed his own self. So this is
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying is that if you have flaws, if you're insecure, if you have any issue of yourself, first learn those flaws and then embrace them, and then embrace
fix
them
them.
and try to fix them. Because at that point, nobody can tell you shit and nobody can get in your head.
No, because
And this
you
is
already
where-
know what's wrong.
Yes, you already know what's wrong, and then at that point, you have that self-confidence, you have that energy, and nobody can tell you otherwise. And this is how you change.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Acceptance is a word for it. I guess that's the best way you
Yes.
could put it.
So anybody who's out there listening, I highly advise you is that self-love definitely is not.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, and it's not about impressing people. I
Nah.
promise you, you will be the bottom. You will be at the bottom of the totem pole if you do your best to
For
try to
sure.
impress others.
Yeah.
The faster you impress yourself,
The
happier you'll
everything
be.
else will follow. I guess that's the best
Everything
way to
else will
put it.
follow.
You know,
everything will
And
fall into place.
it's not easy, but I'm gonna just talk about what's worked for me
Mhm.
and what's kind of like helping me change and overcome, that cocky, arrogant dude I was, and really start loving my own self, because I always felt like I needed love from everybody. But when I stopped expecting love from everybody and started loving myself, my whole life changed.
Yeah.
And in a positive way, because I started literally pointing out my best attributes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, to some I might not be tall.
Yeah.
I might be short to some, but to a lot of others I'm pretty tall. You
Yeah.
know? So I was kind of pointing out, like, that's an example. I was pointing out my attributes, like I'm a funny dude,
Mhm.
blah blah blah. Like, I'm not too bad after all.
Yeah.
You know?
Like literally, don't cut yourself short.
Never appreciate what you have. And honestly, I think one of the best things about me is that I'm a very optimistic dude.
Yes.
And that optimistic mindset is a game changer.
It does play a
Yeah.
role. Huge role.
Yeah, because I know a lot of pessimists that are always talking shit, but I still fuck with them. It's about helping each other.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in no competition with nobody anymore. I'm in a competition with myself. Shout out to Moneybag when he says it's me versus me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, fool, that's who you got to compete with, and that's who you got to be, the person you were yesterday.
Yeah. And then realistically, let's go even a step further. Let's be more dramatic. If everybody died on this planet, who else you got to impress?
Yeah. If you were like,
If you were
I
stranded
read
on an
something
island,
that said that, yeah, if you were by yourself in this world, how would your life be? I was
Yeah.
like, well, fuck.
Well, I mean, at that point,
Shit.
you're forced to like tell yourself,
Yeah.
all right, I got to take care of myself. I got to
Exactly.
humble myself. Well, I have nobody to impress with this $30,000 card, with this $100,000 card.
Exactly.
So at that point, you start or somebody would realize, hey, you know what? It wasn't all about
Yeah.
impressing people. It's just only about impressing myself.
And another thing that does help is setting goals and accomplishing those goals. Like,
Yeah.
small little, like you said, small progress. And any little goal, like, hey, today I'm not going to drink.
That works.
That works.
That works.
Small changes are what lead to bigger changes down the road.
Because there can be short-term goals,
Exactly.
mid-term goals, long-term goals.
Like we've been saying, it's a marathon. It ain't no
Yeah.
sprint, And
like for us, I think a short-term goal for us could be just getting 1,000 views on one platform.
yeah,
Like for Anchor, we'll have hopefully 1,000 views with this or the next
make
episode.
sure you guys like and subscribe.
So, yes, we might have 1,000 views with this episode or the next.
Yeah.
But I mean,
As long as people are listening to me, that matters. I mean, I don't give a fuck how far we go. I like the fact that people are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I subscribed. Hey, I listened to this episode. Hey, bro, you talked about some real shit. Like, hey,
one person's gonna
Thanks.
listen.
thanks.
One person's gonna
You know?
listen, and one person cares, and one person is gonna fall into
Exactly.
this category. So that's all we need. That's all we care about.
I think exactly. And honestly, one of the biggest things that a lot of people struggle with is being humble and being grateful.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Yeah. I call it humbling myself, because I thought I was a shit because I had everything I had.
Yeah.
And then when I was going through my bullshit, my depression, I literally was like, fuck, like my whole world collapsed. My whole life fell apart, whatever.
Mm.
And it wasn't until I started realizing, like, hey, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Hey, I still got a car. I ain't got to ride the bus.
Yeah.
Hey, I live on my own. I ain't sharing room.
I'm
Nobody
still
ain't
eating.
sharing. I'm still eating.
Yeah.
I still have a job. There's a lot of people, especially during this pandemic, it's fucking
COVID,
tough.
yes.
A lot of people don't have fucking jobs. I still had a job.
Yeah.
When you started being humble, and you started being grateful and showing that gratitude, that kind of it kind of built my self love and started making me realize that, hey, dude, like, you got a lot going on for yourself.
Yeah.
And at the time that I was going through what I was going through, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I did start realizing that I was like, oh shit, I do have a good life.
Yeah.
I was going through a rough patch. It's a tough time, not a tough life.
Exactly.
And tough times make tough people.
Exactly.
That's the best way you could put it, And honestly, like I've been mentioning this whole episode, realize whose expectations are you living up to.
There's only one.
And it should only be up to one person. That's yourself. Because if you're living up to others' expectations, you're never going to make everyone happy. Ever.
No.
Ever. I saw this one thing that said, like, to all Latina girls, I was like, move out.
Oh.
Your parents will get over it.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that's just in a Latino household.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, literally, my parents said, you know what? I need you to leave this house within a month. But I knew my parents always lied. They always say that just to get into your head. And then finally, it was that one day where I was like, I really got tired. And I left.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, they cared.
And right? And it's just, once you did it for your own self and your own well-being, your life changed in a good, positive way.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was told this, and it's something that I've literally have been telling people, especially my family and everyone that I know that's been trying to change. It's like, you can't stay a caterpillar forever.
Yeah.
You have to become a butterfly.
And you got to fly eventually.
Yeah. As feminist as it sounds, I mean, that's probably the best analogy there is.
Yeah.
People that don't change are the people that stay like caterpillars.
Yeah.
And caterpillars aren't always appealing.
Yeah.
You'd prefer a butterfly over a caterpillar any day. Yeah. Right?
And plus, you don't go anywhere. You just you stay on flat ground. Yeah. There's no progress.
Butterflies start flying. Think about it like that. Use that analogy for anyone that needs to use it. I mean, use it. That's the best way you could do it. You got to spread your wings. Absolutely. How people say it, Yeah. And honestly, thanks to everybody.
For real.
Whoever's listening, like we mentioned before, if this doesn't work for you guys, it might work for someone else.
Yeah. So
if you love yourself now, there might be someone that doesn't love themselves. I know a couple people that don't love themselves.
And really push it out, you guys. That's the one thing that, like, Jesse really is trying to shoot the message is that, yes, maybe you're listening to this and maybe you're like, yeah, they're right. And maybe this doesn't necessarily apply to you, but I guarantee you there's somebody in your circle that needs to hear this.
Yeah, no, guaranteed. Like,
just one person. If you can just shoot it over, just shoot them a text. There's a link, down below. There's our Instagrams. Down below there's going to be our everything on Spotify. Just go ahead and send them the link.
And realistically, even if you don't want to share our shit, don't just help them change. Yeah. Help them grow. Help them create that self-love. Let them know the good things about them. Let them know how important they are to you. Whatever it might be, trying to uplift them. A lot of people are afraid to take that first step because a lot of people are afraid to change. I know I was.
Yeah. Change is not easy. Because because you have to change your whole perspective.
And you have to be uncomfortable to change. And a lot of people don't realize that.
No, because again, people who build bad habits are there because they're comfortable. Like they don't want to change. And I believe it. It's easier just to stay the same. Yeah. This is why people in toxic relationships, they just stay in toxic relationships just because
they feel like,
like they're just like, like I know how to get you not as upset just by saying this. I know how to relax you. Like I might as well just like stick around because like I'm comfortable. Like I know your family and like just to start all over, it's hard. Yeah, Change is hard. So believe me, especially men out there. Us men. Shout out to those who are still surviving, who are still struggling every single day. Because
it's a constant battle.
It's a constant battle. Yeah, it's a constant daily battle, and it's not fair for us guys that have so much expectation, especially from females. It's like, take it easy on us, girls.
Yeah, because there's a lot of females that have a lot of expectations, but shout out to those females that try to help guys change.
Yes,
I was blessed enough with females that try to help me change and try to help me understand. It was a long process. It was very hard, but I mean it's.
And then even then, regardless if you're a female or a dude, if you're trying to quote unquote help or fix somebody, the best thing you can do is just give that support and give constant reassurance. You're doing well. You know what? You drank 5 times this week instead of 7. good shit. That's a start.
It's 2 days less. Yeah, like I have homies that don't really love themselves like that. They don't really have that self-love, and I do my best to try to uplift them, and it's been working because we're helping each other get through shit. We're helping each other realize who the fuck we are.
Because positive thinking, it's important. Positive thinking, it's like
really, really is.
Because if think about it, what I just said, I could easily make it negative. Bro, you've been drinking for 5 days. Hey, you know what? Good job. You haven't drinking 2 days out of this week.
Yeah,
and then honestly, as men, we can literally use something as simple as that. Just simply saying, "Hey, bro, like, why did you drink this many days?" You can switch it up and say, "Hey, you know what? You didn't drink for this many days."
Yeah, that's a good one.
Men out there, and for the females and for the people who are helping us men, us troubled men, please use that. Like, don't use a negative.
Point out the positives more than anything.
Yes, the more positive you bring out, the more positive we will be, and the faster, or not the faster, but it will definitely help us change.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of girls, I mean, it ain't their job to fix us. It ain't their job to help us.
It's
but
ours,
the expectations laid upon us is tough, and we could use all the help we could get, realistically speaking.
But
but honestly, I mean, self-love, guys, practice that. Start by respecting yourself. Start by saying no. Learning when to say no. Everything we've talked about, it's all about self-love, building that confidence within yourself, knowing the difference between cocky and arrogance, so on and so forth. That's just what it's all about, bro. Just helping one another, and I feel like that's how guys are gonna evolve, by helping one another.
Yep.
Well, you know, and it's the bad part.
Yeah, well, go ahead and lead us out, Jesse. I think.
Well, actually, I have a couple things that people wanted to point out to us. Huh? We ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Hell nah, eh? Hold up. Let me see, because I got people that had questions.
Because my dog is outside, waiting. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you, bro.
My dog likes me.
Yeah, I had people ask us questions like,
what questions? Go ahead, tell me, Jesse. Are you beautiful? No, you're not.
Nah, I already know I'm beautiful. I'm handsome. I'm expensive.
In the dark.
One thing that one of our listeners said is when are men going too far with jealousy?
Oh, I got this.
If you shut up. Hell no. I feel like you're one of the most jealous dudes out there.
Nah. Oh well, back in the day.
Yeah.
Like now I'm pretty solid.
Oh, talk to us. When are men going too far with jealousy?
When it went too far to jealousy?
Yeah.
Well, when they stop loving themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because the problem with a lot of jealousy is that a lot of men are too busy worrying about their significant other rather than themselves.
Ooh.
It's like, what do you have planned out for the day? Anybody who's jealous, a jealous guy, if anybody who's listening, let me say this right now. If you know somebody who is jealous, walk up to them and tell them,
what don't you like about yourself?
No. Tell them, what's your schedule like?
Oh,
if they don't have anything planned, then they obviously they're not being productive. Because for me as a guy, I'm too busy to be jealous.
No.
Because I'm over here, I go to the gym, I have to go to work, I have to work on this podcast. There's so many things. Even my girlfriend, like right now, she knows I'm here. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go. And she would say, oh, well.
She don't bug you for 3 hours. I remember you told me, I was like, oh, shit.
I got my phone right here. Not a single text message from her. Actually, I got one. But she says she misses me.
Hey, fool, if your phone is dry, you got to put yourself on blast like that.
I pay $70 a month for an alarm clock. No, ultimately, I think that being jealous, going too far with jealousy, I think the problem is that a lot of men are just not occupying themselves, and that's the issue. It's like
they're focusing on the wrong things.
Exactly. It's like, don't you have something better to do? Like, don't you have a diet to work on?
You have to trust your girl. Like, another one that it ties to that question is like, do you guys agree with girls' night out?
Edwin? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Of course, I think I agree. I think jealousy just roots from insecurities from men.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's where it stems from. That's where a lot of guys start really battling their own demons in their own heads when nothing's really happening. Like, they're only making those scenarios up because they might be thinking of what they do when they go out. They might be thinking of what they could do. But realistically, I mean, I'm going to be real. One time, I remember I caught myself being jealous. And they were like, oh, then what are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, like, nah, it ain't even like that. I just know how guys are.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Like, there's a difference between knowing the difference, and there's a difference between knowing what the fuck you do or what you're capable of doing. You know?
I think the reason why I'm not jealous. I don't get jealous anymore because I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And second is because I have a lot to offer if my girl was to leave, even if she even cheated on me. Like, bro, okay, so you cheated on me. It's your loss, not mine.
Hey, facts.
So
you got to build yourself. You love yourself enough to be like, oh, you could leave.
And that's the thing, though, because honestly, I love myself. I really do. It's like I'm happy with the small shit I have. If I want to stay every single day at home, I don't mind it.
Yeah, not
Or I could do the opposite. I can eat out every single day, and that wouldn't be an issue. But it's just like I'm content with my home, watching TV, working out, or not working out anymore because everything's shut down.
Yeah. Fuck COVID.
I still have stuff. I still have stuff in my patio that I work out on. I still got some dumbbells here and there.
Yeah.
So that really.
You focus your energy on other things, on more positive
on
things.
myself.
Nah, I fuck with that.
On myself.
Yeah.
The more I focus on myself, the more I occupy myself. Again, I read books. I still listen to podcasts. I do so many things that keep me educated and better that I just don't have time to be jealous.
And realistically, jealousy probably doesn't even exist in good, healthy relationships.
No.
Because you trust your significant other enough to know that. But like we say, if you don't love yourself, you can't love somebody else, realistically.
Yeah.
And listener, I hope. Who's my sister? Amy over here talking shit. Amy over here like, girl, what the fuck you trying to ask this for? Nah, but shout out to her. Shout out to Toby. Shout out to all the panochudos, all the niggas on my couch. Shout out to everyone listening. I want to give a shout out to the people that share our episodes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That means a lot. That really means a lot, bro. Yeah. It really means you guys are listening. You guys are taking the time out of your day to listen to us. Like, it's tough. And one thing that I literally started, me and my homie was like, we're eating, and my homie was like, hey, fool, play your episode. I was like, hey, for real? Like, damn, y'all want to listen to me while we eat? Like, oh, shit, It was different, but it was kind of that self-love,
Yeah.
And I also want to throw in that other little question that one of our, not necessarily a question, my boy wanted me to point it out, is how females don't understand the importance of male bonding.
Yes.
I'm going to talk off experience. Cause
healthy male
bonding. No, of course. I'm not talking about going out. Nah, for like real male bonding when you and your homies are just chilling, drinking, playing FIFA, smoking, whatever the fuck it may be. Like, that's important for dudes, especially for those dads out there, especially for the people who have a lot more responsibility than others. It's important for them to get that recreational time, to get that bonding, because it's a whole different bond with your boys.
Because, like, my girlfriend, so right now I'm off for 3 weeks for work.
Ooh.
Right? And my girlfriend decided to take the 3 weeks off with me.
Oh, shit.
I'm tired of her, bro. Because I need guy time, bro. No,
if she fucks you up, don't blame me.
No. But I'm saying is like, look, I love her. I love her to death. But goddamn, bro,
it's different though when you're with the homies. Like,
it's just different. I need some guy time. I need testosterone in my life. Like
don't say it like that.
But no, I'm just saying it's like I need my boys' night out. Like I think it's really healthy that because I guarantee you, all girls will say, yeah, we need girls' night out. All right, so
girl time is much needed as well, and I've always felt like I've respected that because, like I said, I love kicking it with the homies. Yeah, like that's just my thing. I would kick it with the homies anytime. Like. That's part of the reason I'm not good at saying no, because he's full like, hey, fool, let's smoke. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
And but make sure you guys give you guys yourself that time, especially like I said, people with those responsibilities, people with kids, people who take ownership for shit they don't have to. But shout out to all them. Shout out to all the dads I know. Shout out to all the people listening to us. Shout out to that fool Mergel, Vizca Barta, Vizca Catalunya. That's for you, homie. That? I know that's one of the homies, dog. If you know.
That sounded like a fancy salad.
Yeah? It's just the best team in the world.
Speaking of salads, shout out to France.
Oh, shit. Hey, on some real shit. All my French people.
Y'all been saying hi.
Oui.
You...
Honestly, nah, I fuck with them. I took up to French for. I know a little French. I'm a little shy. Sorry about that, but...
No, but like, they're almost 10%.
Almost at 10% of our listeners are from France.
From France.
That's fucking wild.
I was like... y'all got issues up there?
PSG. I'm gonna go to a PSG game one time. Like I'm gonna go. Like I have to.
Well, yeah.
And I'm for sure gonna fucking. Honestly, like we mentioned earlier, we're gonna start a YouTube channel. So make sure you guys subscribe to that because I really want to start recording even our adventures, not even just our podcast. Because like I said, me and the homies do a bunch of shit. I don't know if you're ready for that, Edwin. I don't think you're ready. But realistically speaking, we're gonna have to wait and see.
I mean, you want to talk to me about it first?
Yeah, we'll discuss this later.
All right, but I'm down though.
Yeah. Okay. Don't tell your girl. Your girl's already gonna fuck you up because you don't like kicking it with her.
That's her problem, not mine.
But honestly, to wrap it all up, I fuck with everyone listening to this shit right now.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the love. You guys don't understand. Like, I literally am just talking off mostly my experiences. And so I feel like so is Edwin. Edwin's a little bit more knowledgeable in that psychological aspect. But shout out to everyone listening. I appreciate you guys' time because I know how valuable time is. I wouldn't want someone wasting my time, and I hope I'm not doing that for you guys.
No.
But it's like I told you guys, if it ain't working for you guys, if you guys listening, hey, let us know. Let us know what you guys want to hear because we're going to talk off experiences, and soon enough, we're going to bring guests.
Yes, absolutely.
Like today was the first time we actually are video recording this.
Yes.
And we're going to bring some guests. I hope you guys are ready for that because you guys might be surprised who the fuck we bring up here.
I know. I was actually thinking about that. It's like we're gonna have a lot more guests for you guys. For those who are listening, we're definitely gonna have a lot more guests. A lot more. There's gonna be a lot more Q&As. There's gonna be a lot more personal things gonna be going on. So
be ready.
If you want to say something, if you guys want to say your story, if you guys have anything to tell us, like,
speak up.
One, speak up, and two, it's like write to us.
Yeah, any experiences. Yeah. I'm open to talk about it. Like I want to talk about the expectations on marriage, the expectations of being forgiving, like being stubborn, like all that shit. I want to talk about it because it just ties back to men and what they're expected to be and what they expect to do. Yeah. But I hope you guys are honestly ready. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe and share. Shout out to everyone again. I love you. I love you. I love everybody listening to this shit. Too. I appreciate everyone. We're gonna be back.
All right.
So hang tight and be ready.
Until next time.
We out.
Peace.